The Hawks beat the Lakers by 20, their largest home win over the Lakers since '73. Luka stuffed the stat sheet with 22 points and 11 assists, but LA's defense was a major problem as they suffered their first road loss of the season. We now welcome in our senior writer, Dave McMiniman. J.J. Redick had fiery comments after the game, Dave, on Saturday night after the loss to the Hawks. But today the team got a little good news. What can you tell us about Austin Reaves' status?
Yeah, he's been upgraded to probable after missing the last 3 games, George, with soreness in his right groin. Now, he was okay with missing that first game against Portland, being the second night of a back-to-back after he tweaked it against Miami at home. The second game, I talked to him before the game, and he was already kind of a little peeved that the Lakers were holding him out. And obviously, J.J. Redick suffered a groin injury in his career that required surgery, and there was an abundance of caution trying to make sure that he was 100% over this injury before he came back to the lineup. Obviously, looking like he'll play tonight in Charlotte and get some experience underneath his belt before this major matchup on Wednesday against the #1 team in the league in Oklahoma City Thunder.
All right, Dave, thank you so much for the update as always. So Austin Reaves could return tonight to action. What do you guys make of Austin coming back?
I mean, to me, I think they really missed him. They've been putting it together with smoke and mirrors ever since Austin's been out. LeBron James has been out. And when you can only do that so much. And I also think they spent a night or two in Atlanta before that game and didn't exactly look ready.
David, you saw something at that Atlanta game that you wanted to mention?
Yeah, man. Luka was kind of getting a little impatient with DeAndre Ayton. Some of the effort plays, it looked really bad. In the building, there was an expectation that there was going to be a blowout, not from the Atlanta side because hardly any Hawks played, but Luka and Ayton, they're humming well when things are going well. When things were not, there was a lot of frustration going on the court.
The magic of Atlanta is under
year. But Cade Cunningham is now blossoming. He's 4 years into the league. This is only 24 years old. And this is what everyone saw when he was coming into the league. Long, point guard, competitive, but also the game doesn't speed up for him. He knows that he's in control of the game, and I think the Pistons feel that. We all know what they did last year in playoffs. I think they have certain plays that they feel could have been refereed or gone a different way, and then things would be very different against New York Knicks. We don't need to point those out.
Controversial plays, to say the least. Yeah.
But I think that really helped them getting into this season and coming in with a head of steam, feeling like we could have and probably should have won that first series.
Yeah, I don't think there's a question they should have that kind of confidence. So we're going to have a lot of time to discuss the Pistons because they are here for sure at this point. All right, it was a great weekend of hoops. We all had some all-time crossovers that we saw.
I like we're bringing these back.
Yeah, so it's time for the big 3 crossovers of this particular weekend. At number 3, Aaron
I can't
Gordon
even
versus
see what they're
Turn around. Oh, come on, buddy. Come on. Buddy, you got your guy
That's a
dunked
guard.
on, buddy.
That's a guard on him. That's forward on guard crime right there. Come on.
Number 2,
They deserve that look.
Jaquez Jr. against the Hornets. Now watch this one.
Did we see this at UCLA?
Right down the lane.
Yeah, he can do that.
Hey.
He can do that.
Sorry, Sion James.
Oh, I think he slipped. He slipped. I can see that.
And that's
That's
a
a
great
great
shot blocker he dunked on, too. That rook's playing well.
Number 1,
Yes.
gotta be DeAndre Hunter.
Oh, no.
Listen, if you were on the internet on Saturday, you saw
Oh, my
this.
gosh. Poor he's like, oh, I turned my ankle. I broke it.
I was like flight to Australia. Man. I thought he's hurt.
I did too, the way he fell. He just got right up.
He should have acted hurt.
Cleveland was not going to be able to match their 50-0 start from a season ago, but after a slow start, November has been a turnaround. Cleveland is undefeated this month, and they look to stay hot tonight against the streaking Heat, who are home thus far. Some sad news to pass your way. Hall of Famer Lenny Wilkens has passed away at the age of 88. A 9-time All-Star, Wilkens played 15 NBA seasons as a player. But it was on sidelines where he made history. A coaching record, 32 seasons, and leading the Sonics to their lone NBA title in 1979. Wilkens retired as the NBA's all-time leader in games coached and still ranks 3rd in wins. He remains one of only 5 people enshrined in the Hall of Fame as both a player and a coach. His impact was felt league-wide, and several coaches chimed in.
No. Oh, wow. Yeah, I played for him, yeah, Cleveland. Yeah, man, I hadn't heard the news. That's sad. He was an unbelievable man, just an incredible man.
You know, when I came into the league as a head coach back in 2001, I mean, this guy couldn't have been more gracious to young coaches. He was such a great gentleman and such an eloquent human being, along with being a super competitive coach.
Being from Seattle, you know, the Sonics were everything, and you know, being a kid in the Rainier Valley is pretty tough. So, like, thinking about one day on the bus, you're riding down and you look over, look out the window, I'm like, damn. Here comes a Rolls Royce. And it was Gus Williams, and I just said, I don't know what you're doing. I won't do that. That pretty much sums up.
Mark, you were the one who unintentionally broke the news to Steve Kerr in that sound that we just heard a moment ago. When you spoke to others about Lenny Wilkens, what stuff?
Just respect. I mean, the range of coaches that he influences, not just black coaches, white coaches, all coaches, like Rick Carlisle. He was a mentor for Bernie Bickerstaff, gave Bernie his first job. He was a mentor for J.B. Bickerstaff, who's coaching now for the Pistons. I mean, you're talking about a guy who coached 32 seasons. No NBA coach in history coached more games than 24, 87 that Coach Lenny coached. He also was an all-time league scorer for a while before being, passed by Greg Popovich and Donnie Nelson. But I think pound for pound, he was also the best, with respect to Bill Russell, who didn't coach that long, but was the greatest coach/player we've ever seen. He was a 9-time All-Star. He was an All-Star MVP. He also, had great stats, and he was a champ. Like, I don't think this guy gets respected as much as he should have while he was here. Hopefully we'll do better. But the one biggest stat that stands out to me, he's a 3-time Hall of Famer. 3 times a Hall of Famer. The only other person in NBA history or basketball history who has done that is the great Jerry West.
Dave, you're in Atlanta right now. Lenny Wilkens was the head coach there for most of the 90s. What did he mean to that community?
I mean, well, first, from a personal standpoint, growing up in Mississippi, we get a lot of national games. We got a lot of Hawks games. And as a kid, to see a black coach, on a regular basis like Lenny Wilkens was incredibly impactful for me. But in Atlanta, I mean, he is legendary. He is synonymous with the Atlanta Hawks. So I reached out to somebody else who is synonymous with the Atlanta Hawks as anybody else, and that's Dominique Wilkins. He sent a statement that saying that this devastating loss for the basketball world, Lenny was royalty as a player and a coach. I called him the quiet assassin. He could code without saying a word. You knew what your responsibility was because he prepared you so well in practice. He was such a wonderful man. He had as great an impact on me as any coach I ever played for. Dominique Wilkins has a statue outside the State Farm Arena. Lenny Wilkens, like I said, is an Atlanta Hawks. He is Atlanta royalty, is somebody that everybody speaks highly of across the league, but especially in a city like Atlanta.
Commissioner Adam Silver described Wilkens as one of the game's most respected ambassadors. Wilkens is survived by his wife of over 60 years, Marilyn, and their 3 children. He was 88. Messed around and got a triple-double, 32, 14, 14. The Joker has 6 triple-doubles in 9 games this season. David, does Jokic deserve more MVP love?
Yeah, doesn't it kind of feel like we're kind of oddly looking over him? Luka scoring 40, Giannis dumping everybody. And Jokic just moseying along, the second most triple-doubles through 9 games behind Oscar Robertson. Nuggets are 6-0 at home, real championship contenders. And Jokic just doing his thing. We're not giving him enough attention.
By the way, he doesn't care about any attention, but you're right. Off to the Garden. Cat and Jalen Brunson led the Knicks to a 134-98 win over the Nets. New York is now 6-0 at home for the first time since the 12-13 season. Mark, how intriguing is the Knicks offense?
Very intriguing. They're averaging about 5 more points a game than they did before. Knicks fans, be patient. Mike Brown is going to do a great job there. And New Orleans is doing a big job right now. Cat, 24-12 in November.
Okay, looking good. Now, to Inglewood, up to no good. We're on Sunday. The Suns beat the Clippers 114-103. The Clippers have now lost 4 consecutive games in 5 of their last 6. Ramona, what's going on with the Clippers?
Well, they're at the bottom of the league in defensive rating and turnovers and pace of play. Probably time to move John Collins to that starting lineup because they're getting killed on the offensive boards. I go on, but Kawhi Leonard is still out. You want me to keep going on?
Sure.
With a long list of bad things happening down in England. Except for that man, James Harden played sick as a dog.
Yeah.
Still got 13 and 13.
They are an older group, too. Shifting Philly, where the Raptors forward Brandon Ingram was in his feelings. During the third quarter, Ingram was called for a questionable foul. I've been there, yeah.
I mean, the other day in traffic.
Then he slowly made his way to the bench.
Hey!
There it was.
Hey!
Oh,
Brandon!
That ricochet.
Oh!
Hey, got like 3 people on that.
Slammed down the water bottles you see here.
Don't call HR.
Hit a staffer and then so Scotty Barnes.
So bad.
More NBA waterworks. Let's go to Rudy Gobert in 2018. Got ejected 3 minutes into the game. And then a
scared
couple
Ross?
water off scoring
Dang.
table.
You okay, Ross?
You can't hit that hard, man. Dang.
To the 2014 playoffs, I remember this. Blake tossing some water at Shaw.
Great
It's an
acting.
accident.
All that
guy
time in
in
LA,
Heckman
man.
all the
That's a
time.
great
Remember that?
acting he's learned since he's been here. That's
Look at his face. You can see him smile. Look at him.
And then how about Bron and RJ here in this game, and Kyrie? They're all there playing water bottle toss or whatever, flip cup or whatever that's called.
I think this is our
And that's
idea.
during the game. That's the fourth quarter of a blowout at Madison Square Garden.
Of course, RJ. Serious.
disrespect.
Yeah.
2013, Jay Kidd, we knew this one, right? Needed a huddle, told his player hey,
Sold that so well.
Hit me.
to get a stoppage because he didn't have timeouts,
man.
drinks spilled everywhere.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Hey, listen, I ain't never be mad at a kid for that. And 94, the pregame fireworks at the Aladome set
Oh
the
my
water
God.
cannon.
Make me run.
That's a lot of water.
Make me
A
sweat.
lot of water.
Look at this.
Bad.
That's
Seen that
unbelievable.
video. That's amazing. She got an umbrella out.
Hide the kids.
That dude had to clean up all that water.
Man.
Now to Memphis,
Oh, man.
where Shea and the Thunder were taking on Ja, the Grizzlies.
He's shaking the cobweb free. They're trying to anyway.
Defending champs in the house. Ja there. First quarter. Grizzlies down 2. Durant on the drive. Finds KCP on the cut. Take another look. The third quarter we go. Thunder down 3. Shea. He's been working on this long game right here. Sizing him up. Knocks it down. Game tied at 76. Less than 5 minutes left in the fourth. Grizzlies down 7. Morant on the drive. Loses for a second, but behind his back to Aldama. Let's take another look. Morant, 11 points, 8 assists. Grizzlies down 5. Then Shea goes to work. Another 3. That one seals it. They win by 14. Shea with 35, 7, and 6. Oklahoma City has jumped out to another great start. They win games at an even better clip than they did last season. Remember, they won 68 games and the championship last year and are currently outpacing that. That's with J-Dub Jalen Williams yet to play after offseason. For a brief 2-game skid, Wemby and the Spurs are back to their winning ways. Let's start on Friday. They were hosting the Rockets. That was Rich Manning.
Oh,
And now Wemby showing off for Arch right there.
And I was wondering who that kid was.
thought I was a little boy. Huh?
I did.
A few minutes later here in the third, Wemby going to work. Gets that one to bounce in.
Shooter's touch.
On to the fourth. Stephon Castle gets it to Wemby. And then late in the fourth, Wemby gets the ball in the paint, steps back, knocks down the jumper on the baseline. Wemby, 22, 8, and 4. Spurs win by 11. The Spurs won a back-to-back, got a big boost with De'Aaron Fox back in the lineup for the first time since March. De'Aaron Fox again making his debut against the Pels. Second quarter, Spurs up 8. Fox with This shot right there for three. Under 2 minutes left in the first. Spurs 10. Wemby at the top of the arc. He drives with the flush. Spurs up 12.
Ew.
On to the fourth quarter. Under 11 minutes left in the fourth. Spurs 9. Castle. He gets the lob here to Wemby. Oh. Reverse. Wemby 18 and 18. Spurs up 11.
Reverse.
40 seconds left. Spurs up 3. And that floater goes in for Fox. Fox finishes with 24. The pair of Wembanyama and Fox played in just one game together so far this season, but the early returns are promising. The Spurs had a positive net rating with both of them on the court. That's encouraging when you see their totals were in the negative in 5 games together last season. So we saw teams throw different stuff at Wemby here, the Suns, the Heat, the Lakers, whatever, last week. And he struggled a little bit. So, David, how will De'Aaron Fox help?
Yeah, just when teams thought they had a game plan for Wemby, putting smalls on him, double teaming them, you throw De'Aaron Fox in the mix, and he makes this so much more complicated, as we saw last night. If teams are going to double Wemby, Wemby is the third most double team player in the league. This is what De'Aaron Fox is going to add to this record. You're going to double Wemby. He's going to move to the paint. You got a wide open Harrison Barnes, who's going to knock down this three more times than not. Then you come down the court again. Wemby's going to set an off-ball screen. He's going to rush to the paint. You got De'Aaron Fox can create on his own and nail the three. De'Aaron Fox had one of his most efficient games, fourth most efficient game of his career off of screens last night. Then you have this, which is just impossible to defend, where you're going to get the ball back to Wemby. You're going to try to double team off of De'Aaron Fox. Good luck. That three is going to go down every single time. Teams thought they had something. You bring in De'Aaron Fox and his clutch play. That makes Wemby even more indefensible. It makes Fox tougher to guard, and then makes this first team even harder to defend. And I think this guy's also going to just be a limit for them when these two are on the court. We didn't see much of it last season. We're going to see a lot more of it this year.
But one thing we're not going to see is teams throwing a 5 on Wemby anymore. I mean, when we were through Los Angeles, we were talking to Steph Castle after the game, and then he said, I think we've seen the last of people trying to guard him straight up with a 5. You're going to see double teams. You're going to see everybody on that. But what helps there is when you have a guy like De'Aaron Fox who can create off the ball, and he's an underrated shooter. We don't think of him as a great shooter, but he can stretch the floor for him. And I think just that experience he had, he was so good for the Kings in that playoff run a couple of years ago. And they've only played 5 games together. You know, we think he's been there a while, but after the trade, he only played 5 games, and Victor had the blood clots. And then this year, De'Aaron's been out until the last game. So let's see where they are in a week or 10 days when they start to develop some chemistry.
In the wonderful world of Wemby, he like owns all the highlights. They're just too extraordinary. And I think lost in all his amazing is what Stephen Castle was doing after his Rookie of the Year campaign. He's averaging 18 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. He's held the fort down before De'Aaron Fox has gotten back, and he's had some amazing highlights of his own.
You know, you guys talked about guarding him with the 5. The Bulls do not have the size to match up one-on-one with Wemby, so defensively they know it's got to be a team effort. They got to swarm him, give him different looks. You know, Chicago guarded Giannis Antetokounmpo the other night in Milwaukee with Isaac Okoro, and they had to really help him out because of the size difference that he's giving up. That's going to be the key for them against Wemby, is to continue to give him different looks and to keep him active, running around the court and not allow him to get set. The Bulls are coming off back-to-back losses. You got Milwaukee and Cleveland this past 2 nights. They got a game against the Spurs. They're really finally being tested. This team got off to such a hot start, the Bulls down, and now you're seeing them against some of the tougher competition in the league. They're trying to find ways to close games and to keep up with these top stars.
Great stuff as always, Jamal. Thank you so much. All right, let's head to Milwaukee. Just 2 months ago, these two teams faced off in Eurobasket in the semifinal. Excuse me, these two, not these two teams. Şengün and Giannis.
That's right.
And there was some trash talk afterwards, if I recall correctly. Yeah. So let's take a look at Alpi there and Giannis. Third quarter, Rockets down 8. Josh Okogie finds Şengün in the corner for 3.
Ooh, release.
Rockets down 5, a little over 5 minutes of the third. Bucks up 7. Giannis on the drive. He finishes with a dunk over Amen Thompson. Bucks up 9.
3 guys there, jeez.
Less than a minute later, Rockets down 9.
Your Bucks, Ramon.
KD on the drive in the finish. Rockets down 6 early in the fourth. Bucks up 2. Giannis, some bully ball here. Gets the layup. Giannis 37 and 8, Bucks up 4. Little over 4 minutes left. Rockets down 3, but in transition. Thompson to Durant. Back out to Sengun for the throwdown. Rockets down 1. Under 2 minutes left. Tied at 113. Durant with a drive. Hits the fadeaway. Durant with 31 and 7. Rockets up 2. Now Sengun with the hook shot. Rockets go up 4. He did it over Giannis.
Everybody ran away from him.
35 seconds left. Let's take a look at this. And Giannis picking up full court.
Him dribbling full court. Behind the back.
Sengun evades him.
Goodness.
Drives here. Spins
Wins off Durant.
and
I got it.
finishes.
He's
I'm
like,
good.
everybody clear out.
Clear out.
Finishes over Turner.
A center clear out.
Gosh, full court.
Grown man.
Somewhere Shaquille
Here's
O'Neal is
Sengun
like,
after the game.
I mean, after we lost the last game, we were all pissed. I was so pissed, so, just we can do the same.
LeBron James, a step closer to making his season debut. Remember, he's been sick. That's a nerve condition that can affect your back, your glutes, your legs. He's not been traveling with the team since his diagnosis while he recovers. And Sean reported on Wednesday that he's not going to go on the Lakers' 5-game upcoming road trip. But what is the latest that you're hearing here, Shams, on his recovery and his progress?
LeBron James has been fully cleared for full contact basketball activities, and the Lakers will be reevaluating him in about 1 to 2 weeks. So, like you just mentioned, Malika, he won't be traveling on the Lakers' 5-game, week-long road trip. It starts in Atlanta this weekend, but this now sets the stage for him to progress to 5-on-5 live action, potentially as soon as next week, maybe with the G League South Bay team. He has been doing individual work. I'm told even some one-on-one action recently, but the next step for him is to do 5-on-5. It could come next week, or when the Lakers come back from their road trip on November 16th, then maybe you see him get in with the main team. But the Lakers and LeBron James are still operating that he will be making his season debut at some point here in November, around mid-month. But listen, we're in uncharted territory with a player that's about to turn 41 next month and in year 23.
Oh, yeah. 1 to 2 weeks is what you had posted on social media for a reevaluation. So we are inching closer to seeing LeBron James make that historic debut this season. Shams, thank you so very much. I want to bring it inside our Los Angeles studio here with Bobby Marks and Kendrick Perkins. We're here and we're one step closer to seeing LeBron. After what we saw last night.
I bet we are. I want to come back too. After watching the Lakers look like eye candy, yeah, he want to come back. After watching Luka playing the way that he's playing at an MVP level, Austin, Reaves doing his thing, playing at an all-NBA level, when LeBron gets back, it's just going to elevate the Lakers even more. Now, I believe he's going to take a lesser role, right? I believe he's going to become the third option on the team behind the best duo in the league, and Austin Reaves and Luka Doncic. That's what I do believe.
I don't know about that.
And that's okay. I mean, look, that we could debate this another day. Here's why I'm saying this. LeBron James could impact the game in so many areas. Do I think he needs to be the primary ball handler? Absolutely not. But we can see LeBron James at the forward position, being a screen, being a roller, right? And being a guy that could play off the ball or spot up three-point shooter. His percentages have been up through the roof his last 2 years. So when I say a lesser role, I'm just saying not dominating the ball as we grown accustomed of watching LeBron dominate the ball, because he got two guys that he trusts, Luka and Austin Reaves.
I think what's it going to do to the starting lineup? I think that's going to be the biggest question.
Sure.
You're probably going to see Marcus Smart likely come off the bench now, who's now been starting. You put LeBron next to Jamar. Basically the same lineup we saw last year. Now you just take Jackson Hayes out and put DeAndre Ayton here. But here's the deal, Perk. If you can acquire a player in November and give up nothing, who's averaged 24, 8, and 8 last year, you do it, and he will fit in seamlessly here. I think the best thing, Malik, also is that they've had 7 different starting lineups to start this year in 9 games. It's almost a blessing in disguise that he's been out, because it has given J.J. Redick a lot of optionality to kind of mix and match as far as with this.
You know what else is giving J.J. Redick an opportunity to do? Develop something that the Lakers haven't had in 5 or 6 years, an identity and culture. And now Braun is sitting back and saying, man, you know what? We actually got something. We actually got these guys playing. JJ actually have these guys playing at an elite level. So, again, add those 24 points, adding those 7.5 to 8 rebounds, that's going to always be there. It might be a dip in the assist because he's going to be more of the receiver more than the quarterback.
You're saying take it. So Luka was undefeated against Wemby as a Maverick, and last night we got our first matchup with Luka versus Wemby, Luka in purple and gold. And here is how it went down. It wasn't the best night for Victor, but we did get a couple of highlights. Here we got a jam. Bronny James made a business decision there.
He's going to make highlights by accident. So
Did you ever have to defend him, Rob?
No, I never did. I was on the bench. So I watched Ref defend him, and that gave me a lot of pleasure.
Well, as much pleasure at this pass as this move from Luka gave LeBron and Austin Reaves there. Love that reaction on the bench. But this might have been the highlight of the night here. How did he find Rui on that perk?
I don't know. There's only a few players that can make that pass.
Looked like an accident until it got to Rui's hand.
He said, no, that's all vision, all goggles. Luka doing the celebration there. Also, he was connecting with this big man all night, though. Here in the third quarter, Doncic finds DeAndre Ayton here for a nice lob.
He's been great for Ayton. He's been very great for Jackson Hayes.
Yeah,
Jackson Hayes.
Throwing it down. Luka now has 6 alley-oop assists this season. That's tied with Cade Cunningham for the most in the NBA. The fourth quarter, this is where things got good. All right, we got 2.5 to play here. The Lakers down 2. Luka Doncic hits step back 3.
Of a tough defender, Stephon Castle. The separation.
That's why he's got the mean mug here. And then watch Victor here. He drives, barrels into Rui with the charge. Just one more look at this one here. Yep, was definitely set. So Wemby registers his 4th career game with multiple charges, and on that play, he fouls out. So 6 seconds left. The Spurs down 4. Stephon Castle misses the 3. Kelly Olynyk cleans it up, puts it in. 1.2 seconds left. Watch Marcus Smart's foot here. His left foot not behind the line all the way. So it's going to be Spurs ball underneath the basket, and Luka Doncic can't believe it. Marcus thinking not so smart, but final chance here. Julian Champagnie can't get it to go, but he is fouled here on this play. 2/10 left. Another look at this one. So Champagnie heads to the free throw line. Okay, he misses the first. Lakers fans start to celebrate. So the Spurs need a tip in on the second. A good miss here. Keldon Johnson almost tipped it in.
That's no time.
Can't quite get it to go.
They lucky when he wasn't on the floor for the tip in.
That's true. It's true.
Now, Luka has now scored 200 points in 5 games this season, 40 a game. It's the 3rd most points in the first 5 games of the season in NBA history, behind only a pair of Wilt games. Whenever you're in Wilt company, you're doing all right here. Perk, what else is there to say about Luka's start to the season here?
Where do you want me to start? Where you want me to start? Luka is home. Luka is finally home. The furniture is moved in. The dishes are up in the cabinets. He's real cozy. And you can relate to this as being, you know what I mean? He's finally been able to lay on the couch, rub his feet together, and pass gas in his house. Damn it, he's getting it in.
I didn't know that's the metaphor we were going.
And look, yes, he's going to have the points, the assists, the rebound. We get that. Last night, I was expecting Wemby to be the best defensive player on the floor. That happened to be Luka. 5 steals, 2 blocks. Luka Doncic all over the place, making the impact. I'm saying, Luka is really out here, and he's playing with this type of force, and he's on a mission. And we talk about the revenge tour. Yes, that was a prime example last night, prime time action going against an elite team in the West and in the league in the San Antonio Spurs.
What did you see, Robin?
I saw the Lakers. They've been comfortable. And that's what you were talking about. Last season, you tell Luka wasn't comfortable.
Right.
And this season, they're playing, I like to call it's snow time. It feels like, it's not quite showtime, but they've got something going on the court. It's fun. There's energy.
And you're just snow angels. That's the idea?
Absolutely, yeah.
There you go. Well, you mentioned that you thought Wemby was going to be the best defensive player on the floor. Luka Doncic put on a clinic, really.
Jalen Duren with 21, Tyrese Maxey, yay, 33.7 assists. But let's talk Pistons as the #1 seed. 28 straight losses is what we were looking at a mere 2 years ago, which is hard to believe, Boogie, to the best record so far in the East. What are you thinking? We got contenders now, officially?
They're moving in the right direction. This is my type of team. If I could handpick a team that I could just join, it would be this Pistons group. They're
Are
tough.
you lobbying right now?
Is that, wait, what's happening?
Is that a lobby?
I mean, I am a free agent. No, I'm kidding. But no.
You and Isaiah Stewart?
Me and Isaiah Thomas. But no, I love this young group. It's so much grit. They remind me of that Memphis team with Z-Bo, Mark Gasol, Tony Allen.
I was on that team.
Were you?
What?
Nobody
said
that was the death of it.
You didn't quite fit the identity.
R.I.P. Grit and Grind when they signed me.
But I love this young group, man. They're full of fight. They're tough. They're fearless. They're growing with each game. They're growing with each season. They have one of the top PGs in the league in Cade Cunningham. This kid is a stud, an absolute superstar. I love this young group, man. They got a lot of fight, a lot of potential, and they're definitely on the right path. As far as saying they're contenders right now, I still feel they need, to grow more.
Could they come out of the East, though?
I mean, the East is so up and down. Absolutely. I think they're one of the top teams in. Well, obviously, they're the #1 team in the East right now, but they're definitely one of the top teams in the East.
This team is.
They have a chance.
Yeah, this team is so scrappy, and they absolutely clamp on the defensive end. And when you have a guy like Cade Cunningham who can put the ball in his hands at the end of games, create, he's a big guard. You can't really, you got to put like a small forward on him because he's so tall, he's so athletic. And I thought this team was going to take a hit when they lost, Beasley, they lost Hardaway, they lost some shooting. They add Duncan Robinson. They still don't have Jaden Ivey, who was kind of on that path to become the most improved player last year. And Jalen Duren has gotten better, which I can't believe that dude's 22 years old when you just look at him. Thompson has been great. Tobias Harris has kind of been up and down. Karis LeVert is kind of getting his legs under him, being that scorer off the bench. But you can't talk about this team for this long and not talk about the job J.B. Bickerstaff has done. He's my favorite coach I've ever played for. He's a player's coach. He instills confidence in you. He is just there for you on and off the court. And he's a coach that you will run through a wall for. And you can see this team is doing that. This team is having fun. This team is playing defense. This team is, it's a collective effort. You look, we always talk about the second option. I don't know who their second option is, and it doesn't matter because it's anyone's night. Put the ball in Cade Cunningham's hands and play defense, and you're going to win games, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Lou, I always think it's funny in sports. We have that thing about, pick a sport, pick a rookie. It's like, it's a losing team. He's setting up to fail. This may scar him for life, right? Mm-hmm. Then you got Cade Cunningham, who's there for a pretty bad stretch. And yet, as a fan or anybody watching the game, how much hope does it give you to see what this guy's been able to do?
Yeah, I think Detroit did it right. I think they found their guy. They found their culture changer. And now you're putting all of the right pieces around him, and you're starting to see the fruits of that, with them being #1 in the East right now. I'm curious to see if that can be sustainable. Some of these veteran teams are going to wake up at some point. These vet teams, they have a fill-out period where they're trying to figure out who's doing what in the East. The Milwaukee's are a sleeper. The Knicks are still there. You can make a case for some other teams as well. But as it stands, Detroit is the #1 team in the East, and a lot of that credit goes to Cade Cunningham and what he's been able to do for the Detroit Pistons. They drafted right, and I'm glad that they're seeing it in Detroit. Like sometimes you draft the #1 guy, and then 3 or 4 years later you trade him somewhere else, and he turns into the player that you always thought that he was. I'm glad that they're able to do it right here, right now with the Detroit Pistons. They have gone through some turbulence, but now that they're in the position that they're in, you can absolutely look back and say that we found our guy and we drafted the right way.
Yeah, there's a lot of question marks in the Eastern Conference, right? The Boston Celtics, they're up and down with some injuries. The Atlanta Hawks with Trae Young out, they've kind of taken a hit. The Orlando Magic have had a really, really slow start. That's a team that we thought was going to have a great start with that youth, with that kind of duo with Wagner and Paolo. You know what you get with the Pistons, and no matter who's in, who's out, they're going to play hard, and they're going to defend. Which nowadays that's going to put you in contention to win basketball games. That's exactly what they're doing. So the Eastern Conference, again, it's wide open. I don't think they're the most talented team in the East. I don't think they're the best team in the East, but it is going to be really, really hard to beat this team 4 times come playoff time.
I mean, we saw them in the playoffs last season.
Last year,
it came down to it.
And then you have a playmaker like Cade Cunningham, and you can surround him with these guys that play the right way and move without the ball. Like it's a tough task to beat this team 4 times.
One thing I think they do need to shore up a little bit is tighten that bench up some. Go get you one dynamic scorer off of that bench.
Yeah, they need one more.
Yeah, the loss of Beasley hurt them, I feel like, a little bit with some of the depth on this team, because they're one injury away from this thing falling off the rails. But if you can shore up some of that bench scoring and some of that activity off of the bench, right now some of those guys are I don't want to disrespect nobody. That ain't really my style. But they breathers right now. You come in and give the star guy 3 or 4 minutes, and then you come back in.
You call them breathers?
Breathers, like because you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to expand your role. But right now, until the numbers get there, that's what it is. And I want some of these guys to be better. I won't say anybody's name because I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but that's how they're being used. So you bring in one more guy that can come in, that can give you some real solid minutes, give you a real solid scoring, be one of those guys, a six-man type of guy off the bench, and I think that's what makes them a real contender in my eyes.
Let's, before we go to break, let's get a little more Cade love out of this one. If he's going to give us treats, then might as well show him.
Drummond.
Out the way, Drums.
I mean, what are we thinking here?
This dude is just so good. He is so good.
So calm.
At least put your arm up, Drum.
He's
calmest person.
damn near out of,
you know what?
I don't think he was expecting
that.